Listen closely. Have you ever answered a question and felt that tight feeling in your chest right after, like, wait, why do I suddenly feel guilty? Yeah, that's not an accident. Some of the most dangerous lies you'll ever face won't come as statements. They'll come as questions. Soft voice, calm face, maybe even a smile. And before you know it, you're explaining yourself, apologizing, doubting your own memory, while the other person stays perfectly calm. That's the game. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The ancient Stoics warned about this 2,000 years ago. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, they all knew the same truth: manipulators rarely attack directly. They plant doubt, then let you do the damage yourself. So today, I want to walk you through 5 questions liars use to control people. You've probably heard every one of them. Maybe at work, maybe in relationships, maybe from someone you trusted. And more importantly, I'll show you how a Stoic shuts each one down calmly, cleanly, without raising their voice or losing their power. By the end of this video, you won't argue with manipulators anymore. You won't explain yourself, and you definitely won't be easy to control. All right, let's get into it. The first question sounds harmless, almost caring. Why are you being so sensitive? At first, it feels like concern, but pay attention to what just happened. You didn't get an answer, you got blamed. That question isn't curiosity, it's an accusation in disguise. What they're really saying is, nothing is wrong, you're the problem. Think about it, you point out something uncomfortable, a strange comment, a crossed boundary, a decision that doesn't sit right. And instead of addressing it, they smile and say, wow, you're being really sensitive. Now suddenly, you're defending your emotions instead of discussing their behavior. That's the trick. Manipulators hate awareness. Sensitivity isn't weakness, it's radar. It's how humans detect danger before it becomes obvious. Every fraud investigator, every whistleblower, every person who sensed betrayal early, they were called too sensitive before they were proven right. Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than reality, and manipulators exploit that. They plant doubt in your head until you start questioning yourself. So here's the Stoic response. No anger, no defense, no explanation. You simply say calmly, I'm not being sensitive, I'm being observant. And then you stop talking. Watch what happens next. Someone who's honest will engage. Someone who's lying will get uncomfortable. That discomfort tells you everything. Now let's move to the second question. You trust me, right? This one sounds warm, familiar, almost intimate. But here's the truth. Real trust doesn't need to be demanded. Think about it. Do you ask people to trust gravity, or do you trust it because it never fails you? Trust is built quietly, through consistency, through actions repeated over time. So when someone looks you in the eye and says, you trust me, right? What they're really asking is this: can you stop thinking right now? Epictetus warned that no one can learn what they think they already know. And liars use this question to shut down your judgment. If you hesitate, you look disloyal. If you ask questions, you look suspicious. And that's exactly where they want you. The business partner who won't show you the numbers but says, trust me. The partner who hides their phone but keeps asking, don't you trust me? That's not trust building, that's pressure. So here's the Stoic response. You pause, you breathe, and you say, trust is earned through consistency. Are you asking me to ignore my judgment? That's it. No accusation, no drama. Just clarity. A liar will deflect, get defensive, or change the subject. An honest person will simply keep showing you who they are. Remember this: trust given under pressure is not trust, it's surrender. Now let's talk about the third question. This one is sharp. Are you accusing me of something? This is where the frame flips. You notice something off. You ask a reasonable question, and suddenly you're on trial. That single sentence shifts the spotlight off their behavior and onto your character. Now you're explaining, backpedaling, apologizing for asking. And the truth quietly walks out of the room. Marcus Aurelius said the best answer to anger is silence, not weakness, control. So when someone snaps, are you accusing me of something? You don't rush, you don't defend. You hold eye contact, let the silence breathe. Then you say, "Should I be?" 3 words. That's all it takes. Liars expect panic, they don't expect composure. A calm response puts the pressure right back where it belongs. Truth doesn't rush, truth doesn't beg. And anyone who panics at observation is telling on themselves. Now the 4th question, this one is emotional. Would I ever lie to you? Notice how wounded it sounds, almost offended. That's not honesty, that's theater. Because here's the real question hiding underneath. Will you feel guilty enough to stop digging? People of integrity don't need to announce their innocence. They let their behavior speak. So when someone asks, "Would I ever lie to you?" what they're really doing is appealing to your emotions, not your reason. Seneca was clear: if it isn't true, don't say it. If it isn't right, don't do it. So here's the Stoic response. You pause, you let the silence stretch. Then you say, "That's not the question. The question is, would I know if you did?" And just like that, the fog lifts. Liars survive in ambiguity. Clarity terrifies them. Honest people don't fear questions. Only deception does. Now the final question, the exhaustion play. Can't we just move on? This one shows up when the other tactics fail. They're tired, you're tired, and they're hopping, you'll choose peace over truth. But listen carefully, this question isn't about healing, it's about escape. It means I don't want accountability, I just want this to stop. Marcus Aurelius never said truth expires when it becomes inconvenient. Whether it's a company buried in scandal or a relationship avoiding hard conversations, let's move on often means let's bury this. So here's the Stoic response. Calm, grounded, final. I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before. That sentence protects your peace. Because real peace is built on clarity, not avoidance. Manipulators rely on emotional fatigue. Stoics rely on patience. And patience always wins. Now let's zoom out for a second. Liars don't need facts, they need reactions. Guilt, shame, confusion, exhaustion. Stoicism cuts through all of it with one simple idea. Some things are in your control, and some things are. Their emotions aren't yours. Their discomfort isn't your responsibility. You don't rush, you don't panic, you observe. Imagine standing in a storm, wind everywhere, noise everywhere. And you're still. That's Stoic strength. Here's the secret manipulators never expect. Once they can't control your reaction, they lose control entirely. Silence becomes strength, clarity becomes armor. So remember this. You're not cruel for having standards. You're not weak for noticing patterns. You're not wrong for asking questions. You're awake. And people who can't be controlled are always dangerous to those who rely on manipulation. Choose clarity, choose reason. Stay calm, stay observant, stay unshakable. And if this helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. In the comments, write 3 words. I choose clarity.